My husband gave me the best anniversary gift. While he watched, MMF, no regrets. My husband and I have been in the lifestyle for about 5 years and have had a number of different engagements. There is, however, one particular thing that excites us the most, the hot wife scenario smile. He loves to watch me, and loves watching more when I'm being owned by a BBC. So this past weekend was our wedding anniversary, and he gave me the perfect gift. We arrived at the hotel, had a couple of drinks, and set up. I put on SI thigh-high stockings, a SLT leather teddy, TTS exposed of course, and a blindfold. He instructed me to lay spread eagle on the bed and proceeded to strap my arms and legs tight to the bed. When he was sure I couldn't move, he taped my magic wand to my leg so it was just brushing against my wimp, and turned it on low, enough to make me beg for more, not enough to make me CM. Then he left me. The plan was to leave the key at the front desk for our guest who was to arrive very shortly, and my hubs would come up 10 to 15 after he arrived, sneak into the room, make a drink and watch. Well, my guest was late. Which left me super churny, squirming and begging, for 45 minutes so long the battery died. There was also an intense mixture of feelings I couldn't move. What if someone else came into the room? I'm submissive by nature, and love to be owned and controlled, but the feeling of vulnerability was next level. I finally heard the door open. I called out, but he said nothing. I knew our guest, a BBC bull with a delicious 10 inches PP, but for a moment I was terrified it wasn't him. Of course, part of his plan to torture me. Then I heard his voice, a hand grazed my wimp, slapped the side of my SS. Immediate relief and anticipation. And of course, tingling and wetness between my legs. He wouldn't remove my blindfold. I begged, and knew I'd soon be begging for much more. He touched and teased, then came to the head of the bed, grabbed the back of my head with his hands tightly in my hair, and pushed his huge PP deep in my throat, effing my mouth. I gagged, which he knew I loved, one of my adult film's go-tos. What turns me on the most is being completely owned and treated roughly. I love the contrast of being a professional, suburban mom in public, and a complete submissive SL wife in the bedroom. At some point my hubs came in, and my blindfold was removed so I could see him. He smiled. He knew how much I loved to be owned and I knew how much he liked to watch, so he sat back and enjoyed the show. Over the course of 2 hours I was teased, tantalized and tortured, in the best way. He plugged my SS with biggest gem I had, and moved it in and out so my SS was gaping, licked my wimp until I begged for mercy, which I didn't get, effed me with his hand until I squirted everywhere, he hits the spot every time. Waterworks. When I tried to squirm away for a break, he pulled me back, made me take more. At one point I squirted so much bent over the edge of the bed that he stopped and took a pic and we had to get a towel. I love my SS getting attention, spank me harder please, but it's only recently that I've really started to enjoy an L, he's encouraged that smiles. Well he loves to stretch my SS with his PP. So when he got a giant black dildo, put it in my wimp, and pushed my legs over my head, I knew what was coming. I didn't think I could take it. It was so incredibly deep and I was so incredibly stretched and full. But it was a pleasure and a pain. I had a huge orc small huge. I lost track of time, and feeling in my legs and hands lull, and I'm sure I'm missing many details, but I do remember looking over at my husband at one point and asking if I was doing a good job. He said you're so effing hot right now. That's all I needed to keep going. My bull is also very good. He makes sure that I'm always in the right position to ensure the audience gets a good show. I knew he was soon going to be close to seeming, so when he told me to kneel on the far side of the bed with my back to my hubs and lean forward I wasn't sure what he was doing or what to expect. He told me to put my hands behind my back and spread my SS. Pardon? I've done a lot of submissive things, but not that. Then he told me to lean forward off the end of the bed and he put his PP in my mouth. I was nervous when he whispered in my ear, Poppy won't let you fall, now spread your SS and leave your hands there and show your husband where I'm going to fill you. F you ick. He quickly flipped me around, lubed my SS and started to F it hard. I was exhausted but still ridiculously turned on, and pushed my SS back to take it deeper. I could feel him going harder, tightening inside of me, and then he blew his load deep. One of my fantasies was to have his CM drip out of my SS, so I wasn't surprised when I tried to recover for a second frozen in that position, and he took a pic, which he sent me later. What did take me by surprise was when he took the huge plug and pushed it back in my SS, making sure I was left full of his CM. When he was in the shower, my husband came over to the bed, made me look at the camera, he recorded the whole thing apparently, and told him that I was a dirty SLT and that I was full of another man's CM. He then kissed me on the forehead and told me what a good job I did. My bull got dressed, said his goodbyes and left. He wasn't out the door more than 30 seconds when my hub said to come to the couch and climb on top of him. Reclaiming immediately is so important for us. And he did just that. I didn't think I had another orgasm in me, but he made me explode again. My SS still plugged with another man's CM. Wondering what I'm getting for my next anniversary smile.